He didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White.
Right.
You should shut up and do the job.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Weird.
I would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
They're remaking the movie. They just got rid of the dwarfs. Okay,
but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group. You just erased that whole image. The argument should have been from Peter Dinklage. There's power of being on TV. There's power of television. And to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story. Don't change the character.
Disney's latest project, the live-action Snow White, has found itself at the heart of a major controversy. And leading this storm of criticism is the film's star, Rachel Zegler. But what exactly went wrong? Why has the reaction been so fierce? Why are social media filled with memes mocking her, media outlets dragging her name, and why did the movie completely flop at the box office? Let's dive into the full story behind the backlash. The original Snow White dates all the way back to 1937. It wasn't just any film, it was Disney's very first animated feature. Inspired by a German folktale, the movie became a cultural milestone, laying the foundation for Disney's empire and redefining what animation could be. Generations of audiences have cherished the classic Snow White. So when Disney revealed plans for a live-action reboot, fans were both excited and deeply nostalgic. Expectations were incredibly high. But things took a sharp turn the moment Rachel Zegler was announced as the new Snow White. And from there, the situation quickly spiraled. It didn't take long for fans to raise concerns. Rachel Zegler didn't resemble the original Snow White in any way. The animated version was iconic: pale skin, jet black hair, and lips red as a rose. Even the name Snow White was a direct reference to her fair complexion. Rachel Zegler, who is of Colombian heritage, didn't fit that classic image. And that sparked a wave of criticism, with many accusing Disney of pushing woke casting choices, prioritizing modern diversity over staying true to the original story. When tone shifts. But what really ignited the backlash were Rachel's press appearances. In multiple interviews, she took direct shots at the original film. She called the 1937 classic strange, mocked the prince by labeling him a stalker, and claimed the original Snow White lacked personality and strength. She even boasted that this version wouldn't be about true love's kiss, and that Snow White wouldn't need a man to rescue her. That rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. To many, it didn't feel like she was honoring a timeless story. It felt like she was tearing it down. Her comments came across as smug and dismissive, especially to those who grew up loving the original. Interview after interview, she gave the impression that she didn't respect the legacy of the original film. And what made things worse was her attitude. Viewers began pointing out how she often seemed condescending, unenthusiastic, and at times even hostile toward the classic tale she's supposed to be celebrating. Clips from her interviews exploded online, social media lit up with memes, and almost overnight, Rachel Zegler became the internet's latest punchline. She was labeled entitled, out of touch, and widely criticized as the wrong fit for such an iconic role. Crescendo tone. The outrage kept building, and it didn't slow down. So by the time the film finally premiered in theaters, the damage was already done. Many viewers had already formed their opinion. Why support a movie led by someone who seemed to mock the very story it was based on? The result? A complete flop at the box office. The film bombed hard. It lost millions. Critics weren't kind. And audience reactions were even more brutal. Some refused to watch it entirely. Others actually cheered its failure, calling it karma for disrespecting a classic. At its core, this wasn't just about casting. It wasn't just about being politically correct or pushing a message. It came down to one simple thing: respect. Respect. Respect for a beloved story. Respect for the fans. And respect for the cultural legacy that Disney built over generations. Rachel Zegler's attitude became a cautionary tale, a lesson in how not to handle a remake of something people hold dear. And as the internet moves on, and the film fades into box office history as a certified failure, one message rings louder than ever. Some stories were never meant to be rewritten.